And welcome back to Fancy Tickles. You guys just about missed out a fucking elbow cuffing. Lucky to save by the intro, motherfuckers. I'm Bryce Beether. I told you I was gonna get fucking rowdy in this one, dude. Yeah. Anyway, I'm fucking Wrecking Ball, dude. Not even Bryce today. All Wrecking Ball today. And you are all Wise Panda. And you are all Jolly Green. You both. Alright, enough. I'm sorry. Happy fucking Thanksgiving, folks.
Yeah.
That's, it's a little tense, you know, trying to plan as an adult for all of your Thanksgiving-ing usually, but guess what? This year don't have to.
Oh, it's fucking easy. You don't gotta worry about family being around. Nothing.
Well,
You're not supposed to get together with nobody.
I'm spending it with a special somebody. And the special somebody, I gave a little text and I was like, hey, want me to bring anything? She said, just your appetite. Which means, ha ha!
Him and Jim are gonna sit around and they're gonna eat TV dinners together and play video games.
Why can't you just let me live vicariously through my own stories of lies? But yeah, what are we doing for Thanksgiving, boys?
Myself, the family's doing theirs the following Sunday, just because everybody will have that time off.
Yeah.
So we're just all gonna get together then and do it that way, on this side of the river where there's no holds barred on how many people you can have and whatnot.
Yeah, there is.
In Idaho, there is.
Yeah.
No.
They just passed it over here.
Well, good thing you only have 6 people showing up.
It's alright. You just can't have 7.
Well,
Yeah.
That
I'll eat on the porch.
motherfucker's gotta sit on the porch, yeah.
Well, that's the trick, though. Did you see that thing? Where it's like, it's a guy standing in his front porch and there's a cop and he's like, how many, and the cop says, how many people do you have in the home? And he says, 6. And the cop says, may I come in and check? And he said, no, that would be 7.
I saw one that was like, not supposed to have more than 6 people in the house, but an unlimited gathering for a funeral, so we're gonna hold a nice little gathering for my pet dead turkey that's inside.
right, yeah.
So yeah, we're doing that, and I'll just probably sit at home and watch movies or whatnot, watch some old school shit.
I think you and me are gonna try and hook up later in the afternoon.
That evening, yeah, after all said and done.
It's not really, what is it? Yeah, Netflix and chill. What do we call it? Pro wrestling and fart and nap.
Wrestle.
You nap. I love how every time, like, if it's the right day, you're just abso-fucking-lutely exhausted, so we're just chilling. All of a sudden, little Jim's just over there, just this little...
Oh, dude, if you see me do this number, even in the theater...
Yeah, you're asleep, dude.
Call it.
I wonder what that is, because that's like...
That's comfort.
Well, it's comfort.
You used to do that a lot more, but then now, like, we're all peace panda.
All at peace, man.
No, don't do that. You'll fall asleep. We're doing a podcast.
You're doing something now, bud. Calm down.
I have been waiting, like, what, almost 40 episodes now for something like that to happen where, like, if I'm just jabbering and you're just fucking over it, you know? Like, just out, and then I get to go on fucking 28 straight minutes of fucking Conspiracy Corner. It's like, well, this motherfucker's asleep. Get your hats on, folks.
He just grabs the camera.
This fucking chemtrails. About to get real. So, what about you, Mr. Man?
We're just gonna do just a nice little thing. Sarah's making a turkey. We're just in 3 of us, just hanging out.
Aw, what about
Nothing
your
big.
pop?
He's gonna go spend it with my grandma.
Oh.
So we're
Your
not
grandma
all
is
gonna
still alive?
Yeah, my dad's mom.
I thought she was like old when we were in high school.
She was.
Jesus Christ.
She's pretty goddamn old, man.
We're gonna go. So you tell me these things, and then one of these, I'm like, let's go visit Gram, and she's in like, what's that movie? Fucking The Bates Motel.
Oh,
She's just in the chair, just fucking. I'd be like, oh shit, there are these kind of people. Like, it's been a 37-year wake.
Yeah, right. We mummified her. It's okay. She doesn't smell.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just doing just. It'll be kind of nice. Sarah's off the 2 days. My days off fell on Thanksgiving too, so.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you have to go back to work Friday?
No, my days off Thursday and Friday.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Dude.
works out.
I got Thursday and Friday off too.
Yeah.
Maybe we
You wanna come over and help me rake leaves on Friday?
Yeah, we can fucking pal about, dude. Check out our new rakes.
All I was gonna do is just blow them all down to that thing by the fire pit, and I'm gonna douse some gas. That's what I'm doing.
Whatever works.
You know, that's a real Lewiston way to deal with certain problems.
Fuck
Just
it.
pour gas on that motherfucker.
Fucking change your oil in the street, right?
Right?
Ah, diesel oil.
It's got more vitamins in it.
Yeah.
I learned that, like, if you're trying to bring a car back, like, say you're pulling one out of a field and starting it, like 5W30 diesel oil has way more dinosaurs in it, not to quote another show,
Yeah.
and it has more stuffs in it, like conditioners and whatever they call that, detergents and shit in it, that's good for bringing the old motor skis back, the old rings on the piston.
Yeah. Sorry.
I got sidetracked as fuck. I went right into cars. But, so, yeah. I'm going to go enjoy mixing our kids together in large. There's like a
Nice.
bunch of them playing and doing their thing. And Ollie talks about her kids like all the time. So it's like by name. And so it's like, right on. They
Well,
get
that's
along.
good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a huge
Good.
step. Trying to do like the relationship thing as an adult. It's not just like, are you into cars? Yeah, I'm into cars. Okay, let's be fucking married forever. Like, or whatever, you know. It's like you gotta mesh the kids
Yeah.
and the life and the days off and the, you know.
Yep. Yeah, mine will be boring, and I'll probably, I don't know. We usually
Boring
eat.
is good though. Like it's
So
a
do you
dating
guys eat at like 1?
Sometimes I've done that in the
Yeah.
past, but like I like putting out just a whole bunch of fucking really good appetizer-y things.
So
Like
like
I'd almost
snacky snack.
yeah,
through
super
the
snacky,
afternoon
yeah.
Type of,
And like go full tart on that too though, like bacon wrap thingies and you know what I mean? Like and then I just munch all day and then give it like a good half an hour to let shit settle out and then BAM into the fucking big meal.
Sarah's big thing is like the cheese ball, dude.
Yeah.
The cheese ball with the
Crackers.
the
and all
really
that.
good crackers, like the what are the square buttery ones?
Butter crackers.
The square buttery. We're fucking highfalutin. What are them square
What are
butter
them
crackers?
square butter crackers?
They're always
They
down
got
there.
them little munchkins on the front, you know. Holy shit.
You just
Yeah,
realized
those
that.
ones. Yeah.
It's like, what's that fucking killer noodles? You know, your parents used. Oh, Top Ramen.
Yeah, Top Ramen.
Top Ramen. Who's Raymond and why is his parents so cool?
Yeah.
Who says he gets to be on top?
You know what I get to experience for the first time in my life?
Shoot.
So I love cheesecake. And I love pecan pie. Guess who's getting a cheesecake pecan pie?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
This girl can cook. Yeah. She's making it. She ain't even buying it.
That sounds fucking amazing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I love both of those things as well.
I might try and save a slice for both you guys just so we can, and then you can give it a shot here.
Enjoy
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because if I froze it or something and then just
Yeah.
brought it on the next podcast,
It's like pumpkin cheesecake. You ever had that?
Pumpkin cheesecake's the
that
shit.
sounds delicious.
It's super good too.
Yeah.
All kinds
I'm
of
fucking
cheesecakes.
hungry already.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
what
See
I
what's-
love about Thanksgiving. I prep. I don't even realize I'm doing it, but for the last like 3 weeks, I've been fucking pounding it in this thing.
Stretch it out so you got
Just
room
get
for
it
everything.
fucking ready, you know.
I do that too sometimes. How about you, Jim?
Oh, I always say, you know, people are like, it's that time of year I need to start getting in shape. I go, nah. I'm just preparing myself for if I have to feed a small village. During
Well,
an
if it's
apocalypse,
you're
yeah.
gonna not have to eat for a while.
They're gonna eat you.
Yeah, but that's the problem. I'm always going to want to eat, whether I have to or not.
What you do is you pretend like you're being good for the little mini apocalypse society, right? You feed the children, get them good and fat, right? Get them good.
Hansel and Gretel 'em.
Yeah, dude. And then you could just be like, it's like on The Simpsons, like the fucking
Touching my belly too much.
he's just over
I
here,
just kept doing it.
you know. Sometimes this is just what I like doing with my finger.
Stop putting it in
That's
there.
it. Can I get in there? Tickle me.
Might be a
Smell.
little extra room
You
there for.
fucking.
Might be a
Sorry,
little
I was
extra
over
for a
there.
pinky in there. The only thing that sucks about when with the family doing ours on Sunday is I have to go to work that night.
Oh yeah.
So I probably am not even.
lazy, dude. When's the last time you called in? You're
The
such
problem
a
is
company
I'm
man.
still the one that's breaking the loads down. So I have no choice but to be that dude.
What, they can't figure out how to take things off of a pallet and put them on a boat?
The guy that usually does it is the old guy that fucked with his ribs, and the other guy is brand new. He's just filling in for the dipshit that didn't call
It's called trying by
Midcore or
fire.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I've had lots of jobs where they're like, figure it out. I'm like, alright. I mean, I don't have those jobs anymore either.
Figure it out or don't come in tomorrow, boy.
Okay, I'll talk to unemployment tomorrow. No, I'm learning, like, it's one of two things. I'm either going to get a good job and I'll, like, take care of it. Or I'm going to just keep having, like, mediocre shit jobs and just, enjoy half-assing most of my life. You know what I mean?
I feel like I'm kind of half-assing it right now, in a way, because I went from management, like making the big bucks, to fucking having a fucking full meltdown, panic attack, anxiety, fucking meltdown, and getting out of that scene because I couldn't handle it anymore. Back to like mid-scale, like management at a hardware store, but it's not bad though because I dig what I'm doing and I like where I'm at and it's a good place.
Yeah.
That's
But
more
it's
important.
it's like not the money I was making, it's not the benefits, it's not any of that, but it's like my mental well-being is better.
Well, like, like, here's a good example. Benefits are great. Say you have free psychiatric care.
Mhm.
I'd rather just not need it because my job tortures me than to have
Yeah.
that available. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and like, my job's okay. But, like, it's, there's no such thing as a stress-free job.
I sent a
there's
guy
like
here
a
to work today for one thing.
Did you? Oh, you motherfucker. I can even think of the situation. I sent a guy packing today. Like, I brought a
He was
bolt
a
out,
dick,
and he was like,
too.
yep, that's this fucking guy for sure, and fuck you, thanks for coming to my store. Anyway.
Better
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and it's super
Or, I
custom.
mean,
Super
that
custom. Oh, it's cool. Everybody knows I fucking work
That's
there.
true.
It's not like they're gonna fire me. Like, hey, we heard you, like, reference.
We heard that guy on your podcast.
Yeah.
You're done, man.
No, but like you want a send a guy packing type of thing. Like you bring something out that took you 45 minutes to find, it's worth 30 cents. You already spent like $15 in labor hours. You wanted plated. Am I way putting it on? It's that alternator. You should go away now. Blaine's where it's at, dude.
Yep. Yeah, he wanted.
And I'm
wanted
to specify,
steel
that's what I
or
said in my head.
I think it was the same guy, because he was wanting stainless steel or something that's not going to corrode or blah blah blah. Anyway, but yeah, Thanksgiving. Probably
What's
just
a
gonna.
fucking wicked, mean, bad, good, weird, funny experience during Thanksgiving? And like, you count all your kid years, obviously.
To be perfectly honest, like, it was always a shit show if we did it at home with my mom and Doug.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
There, like, my mom would get shit plowed drunk, and I believe it was Thanksgiving, like, 6th grade year. Doug was in the living room in his underwear in his recliner like normal, watching his hunting shows. And my mom brought him his food.
So okay, the thing about Doug, not to interrupt, did he ever actually go hunting?
Sometimes.
Did he really? Okay,
Yeah,
I don't remember ever seeing him kill something.
Yeah, I
or like
hear about
put it on the wall.
Yeah,
you know, like,
no, I mean, I think I honestly think him and his brother were poachers. Honestly, I'm not positive, but I think they might have family.
So he's just
because I remember more than once coming out and they were just like slaughtering a deer like on like plastic in our kitchen, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of odd.
So of all because I know what size that kitchen was, so that would have been a fucking murder scene coming.
Oh fuck yeah.
That, or if you're far enough into that process and all that's left is guts and like parts and blood
Like, oh,
and
fuck,
a plastic
he finally
sheet.
had enough of my mom's shit.
Like, well, good on you, man. I get it.
I get it.
I get it.
Anyhow, so it was always a shit show in that aspect. Like I was saying, that one Thanksgiving, I'll never forget because she brings him his plate. She's already plastered drunk, you know. Food's okay though, and he's being an asshole like normal, and he gets it, and he's like, something about like fucking lumpy potatoes on here, Stacy. And she's like, oh, let me go fix those. And she just had this fucking just and walked past me, and I just remember her having that fucking plate, and she just right at his ass, dude, full of food. Motherfucker, dude. Fucking food everywhere. Turkey everywhere, potatoes everywhere.
Nice.
Take your fucking Thanksgiving! And then went outside. Anyway. But you know, most of the time though, we did the go to grandma's house. And
So everybody
the
had to be on
rest
their
of
best
the family.
behavior at the time.
Yeah, we had to fake it. So,
Like a
thankfully
good
we were a
family.
big happy family. Yeah.
I love my
Um,
stepdad. He's so good to me.
He's so nice.
I said it.
But
right.
I mean, that was my Thanksgiving growing up. It was either really fucked if it had to be at home that year, or if it was at my grandparents. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, I can remember that. Well, it was like, so we lived in the woods for like all of my memories of like family Thanksgivings, really. Like, as an adult, like, I control the situation. I've normalized it. I'm not gonna fucking stress. I'm not gonna do the things that fucking bug me that, you know, parents do. Like, so we lived down, like, you know what the road was like once you got to the gravel road and then got to our road to get into Anatone on the property. So instead of like my dad taking the ham and like the little bit of fixins it would take to just do it at my grandma's because we're gonna be there all day anyway, he's gonna make the ham there in Anatone when the snow's like already up, you know what I mean? And then make the ham gravy. And then he's like, all right, now let's try and get out of here with just chains and this piece of shit little pickup in two-wheel drive so everything's fast so you can get through. And so, like, little Bryce is trying to hold the ham gravy bowl, and of course it's gonna go everywhere. I'm like tired, you know, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna put my hands down for a second, then boom, you get a thing. And he's like, I can remember him, like, we just got back to the gravel road. So you know what, that's only like a mile and a half or whatever. And he's like, did you spill it all? And I was like, well, you know what, but I'm like 8 or whatever, so I'm like, you know, and it's all over me, and he's pissed at me. Like, so then I get there, you know, and you're already, like, crying. You've spent 30 minutes stuck in a car with somebody you don't even want to talk to at that time, covered in gravy, you know, like that kind of shit. But then you get there and everything's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember it ever being shitty on Thanksgiving. I don't remember anybody fighting or drinking too much or whatever, you know, like. There's always something before, like, it's like, Dad, we could have like, looking at it now, you know, as an adult, like,
This could have been way better.
all of it could have been avoided, and I wouldn't be sad on Thanksgiving. I'm thankful I made it, you know, like, kind of thing, you know. And, like, I don't remember, I mean, I guess I did Thanksgiving with my mom, but I'm not sure I'll fucking remember it.
See, I didn't do Thanksgiving with my dad. I think I had one Thanksgiving with my dad, but my mom and dad fucking hated each other, so he didn't get me on any holidays growing up. Yeah, the first Thanksgiving we spent with my dad, or that I spent with my dad, I think I was 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was at my grandparents' place. And I met a bunch of family and stuff I didn't know. But yeah, my mom always kept that real fucking tight grip against my dad all the time, so.
And he's like all-American dude, so you'd think Thanksgiving would be right up his wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Your dad doesn't drink, though, does he?
No, not really.
No. I don't think I ever remember a beer or nothing ever sitting around.
Yeah, I mean, he used to a little bit, but not anything.
Like it was kind of like my dad, where you'd like look in the cupboard and you know there'd be like a little thing of whiskey, but it would be the same one that's been there for 8 years or whatever. Yeah.
My folks, we always did the Thanksgiving, like when my parents were together, it was always a decent meal or whatever. There was never any like, if there was fights, it was after the fact, because it was, Mom would, the ones I remember, we would, early as a kid, we did like the grandparents and everything like that, where it was football, if we were talking, you know, sitting down watching the game or whatever while the food's going, and then you go in and you sneak a deviled egg or some shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
But then it was.
Oh, I just got a little boner. You said deviled egg, and I'm
deviled
like,
eggs like that's the good shit. Those are like the pickle with the cream cheese and the ham wrapped around it.
That is so simple. And why don't we make those full time?
I don't know.
We are bachelors, and that requires literally no effort.
Angry Pirates?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's like a southerny type thing, because I had never heard of them until I got together with Sarah, and she makes those. I don't like them.
What?
Yeah, I don't.
You gotta swap regular pickles for sweet pickles and see if that fucking runs you, because that shit's good too.
That might.
It's totally another little thing.
Right.
But deviled eggs though, dude. Oh,
yeah. So then we would do those, and then like as I got older, when the parents, it was just me, mom, dad, and my little brother. they would always do like a meal, and Dad would be watching TV, Mom would be cooking, and then as soon as everything was done, it was like we would eat, and then everybody kind of went their own separate ways. It was never like we're gonna sit down and watch something together.
Right.
It was always like kids would go play, Mom will go on the computer, Dad will go sleep on the couch or the chair or whatever, and that was that. And when they split, it was always just like we didn't really do any major meals. Like Mom would have the meal, but if I was with Dad, then it wasn't anything crazy or anything like that. Like we'll just go down and get some chicken or something like that. You know, keep it super simple. Just like a bachelor.
That's really what it should be
Yeah.
anyway. Like that's what I think of with Thanksgiving in the first place. Is it's like a relax. Like it's not meant to be overdone. Like Christmas is just around the corner after, and that's just a fucking nightmare when it comes to like, if you're into Christmas like I am, you're constantly just like, okay, do I have thousands of dollars to buy everybody stuff and get decorations and do this and do that and try and make it as festive while like wearing the smile? Like that's the hard part, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's why I don't do, like I don't know with Ollie if I'm gonna do as much Santa stuff. Like at least I'm not gonna let Santa get the fucking credit for the cool shit. Like I'll let Santa bring him like dollar store toys. You know what I mean? Like that's what you get from Santa.
The stocking
Because
stuff.
Dad worked all fucking year to get you the cool thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's kind of like with me now. If I want something, I mean, I don't have a family to like. This is what I want. I mean, I love you guys. I love you guys.
I get you whatever you want, boo boo. It's fucking Christmas. You and Sean have presents under the tree before everybody.
That's true. I did see that.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you were wrapping up the other night when I was over there getting the table?
Nice. That was
So he probably knows what they're there.
no
Just doesn't
fucking idea
No,
what's
no
in the
idea.
remember
box.
what it is.
I had to like makeshift it.
Gotcha.
It's a puppy.
Did you poke holes in the box at least?
Sarah says there's chicken and cookies if you want this.
Poke hole in the box for what?
I don't know.
Like,
Oh, it's got plenty of air in there, dude. You
It'll
know what
last
I
till
mean?
Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we would do
Dog jerky.
like that was simple. The only like crazy memory I have is when my dad got together with my stepmom. We had our first Thanksgiving together, and we went over to her ex-mother-in-law's, which was the weirdest thing ever.
That is super weird right off the bat.
Yeah, but they lived right. We were all like in the area. It was Bry's grandma.
Wait, what? Wait a minute.
No, like so we
I
all
mean,
lived in the
that's
same
cool.
town, like within a block or
Oh,
two
okay,
of
so
each
it's
other.
Bry's grandma, so that makes sense. 'Cause
Well,
it's
it
Bry's
was-
grandma.
It was
No, it would make sense now that I think of it that way. It's
okay.
just
So it was Bry's dad's, I think, ex-wife or wife or
so
something
it's like
that.
all the exes hanging
Yeah,
out.
kind of in a weird way. Like they were
I've
all just super
experienced
close.
that where like
yeah.
Rodney, like same subject type of thing, but like he sent me like a pretty risque photo the other day, and I was like, "Fuck's this?" He's like, "Shit, you're single, man." Like, you know, like you used to be my father-in-law, and now you're sending me, you know. And then the other father-in-law did the same thing. I was like, "Oh, this just must be how this goes."
It's-
like I've never experienced this as an adult, where like the in-laws still like you know.
Yeah.
And like, you know, like me and the ex get along just fine, and me and her family get along great.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, but it is funny to experience that now, being like, I already assumed that Dad, like, first time Aubrey has a boyfriend that I like, and she's old enough and I know that they're boning, I'm gonna fucking hate that kid. I'm like,
Oh.
you are about to ruin her fucking future. I hate you. I hate everything about you, and I don't have to like you at all.
Because I was you.
You're
'Cause
taking
I
away all
was
that
you.
little innocence, you little fucker.
Yeah, she would have just kept My Little Ponying it up and shit with the fucking nightgown dresses if it wasn't for you pervy little boys, you know.
Right.
I don't think she's gonna be into boys though. I just don't. She's got a real that vibe to her, you know. Like her friends will be talking about boys, and she'll be like, "Yeah, I was playing Roblox the other day." Like, you know, it's like, I think we're good.
I
Stop
can't
trying
say
to-
the same. My daughter just tried to make out with you before we left the house, so.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, I don't know if it's just me or like what, but children and like crazy women in their 30s seem to really fucking want to kiss on me.
So
You know
yeah,
what it is.
we all got together. Back to my story.
Oh, yeah.
Just for a moment, guys. Just for a second.
I would like to finish.
I want to
Jump
talk
in.
about me and only me. Sorry. Anyway.
So we all get together and we're all having dinner or whatever, and Bry has this thing about trying to make his sisters throw up by saying the grossest, nastiest things. Like while we're all eating dinner. And he tried to do it once prior to, or he did it once after this. He tried to get one of them to puke or whatever, and they didn't. and it was the little sister Christina that ended up passing out at the table from all the shit that he was talking about. And I think he was just talking about like the slaughterhouse videos from FFA.
Oh, okay,
From all
yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So this was
So you could really enjoy the
Oh,
thing
yeah.
that's sitting in front of you while
Oh,
you
yeah.
eat it.
So we were sitting there at like a round table like this, and I don't even remember what he said, but he made Bethy, the oldest sister, laugh so hard that she shot mashed potatoes out of her nose and out of her mouth from laughing so hard, but it hit every single person at the round table. Like it managed to like people sitting right next to her to the person across from her. It hit everybody, and she didn't turn her head once. It was
Ooh.
and the spray was pretty
Alright,
good.
so mark one up against round tables.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've had some serious conversation about engineering when it comes to
True.
this, but if we're gonna eat mashed potatoes, back to square.
Back to square.
Back to square.
So yeah, that was pretty much my crazy.
So nobody has
Thanksgiving.
like horrific stories? That's
Well-
awesome. I just assume in our demographic and the lives that we've led that it would be worse. And then my brain is trying to
Well-
find something other than that story about bouncing down the road. I'm like, it really never was that bad. It was just always mellow. I never got
Yeah,
like the, like the Home Alone Thanksgiving where there's fucking 10,000 people around the
Yeah, no,
table
we
or
didn't.
whatever. I
I
never
mean, we
did
had
that.
with Beth and those guys. It was always a bunch of people because there's just a bunch in the family.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, that's been the most of it. Like, and now with everybody that's married besides me in the family that has kids and everything like that, it's just multiplied by that.
You just that weird uncle everybody's waiting for to show up.
Yeah. I'm that one that's like, I just don't get drunk.
That weird uncle that
Pass
lifts,
out.
that lifts all the kids up in weird ways.
Yeah.
I
that
totally
guy.
know what you're talking about.
Right?
The awkward uncle that
Yeah.
has no boundaries.
Here,
Cause
come here.
you're just
Get
a
on
kid.
my back.
Right. Or
I
was that
had one of those.
There's that pic where it's a fucking, like, you can see all the kids are kind of overweight. You can see the other two parents are kind of overweight in the picture, and they're all around a pool. And then there's, like, the tweaker uncle. You can tell he's, like, he would be fat like the rest of them, but he's holding a jug of beer. And you just see his foot up and coming into the back of a kid to kick him in the pool. It's like, everybody has that uncle,
Yeah.
And they do. That's what's so crazy is how, like, we all do really similar things. Like our lives, like even if you do individual things that are different,
Yeah.
there's a lot of constants. Like weird uncles, the mean grandpa, like I didn't have a mean grandpa, but I had definitely a stern one and a fun one.
Oh yeah.
Like shit like that. Like it's just, or there's always like the cliche like mom's way younger, dad's old school. Like it's constant. Like
That's how it was with mine too. Mom
Yeah.
was way younger, dad's way older.
dad's
Like,
cool, mom's
yeah.
crazy. Yeah, like and like I don't know, just there's like a lot of cliches in life like that, and of course I'm at like a loss for other examples right now. But
Oh
that's
yeah.
those are the things I constantly notice. Like, yeah.
Not a Thanksgiving story, but we had a Christmas one year where we
Fucking love Christmas.
lived in Moscow.
You
At
lived in
the time.
Moscow?
Yeah, I lived in Moscow from when I was like first, second, third grade. I lived in Moscow.
Oh, that's why you can't spell.
Yeah. So yeah, that's one reason. So we all came down to Lewiston, shoved in Doug's 74 Nova at the time.
Hell yeah.
Purple. It was all purple. We came down here to my grandma's house, which is just down the road from us here. And we had Christmas that year, and then we drove back up in a horrid snowstorm in a Nova with like 400 horse with slicks. We just the whole way up the hill. Made it back to Moscow. No heater, by the way. In the car. Duh.
Makes it go
It's a
faster.
Nova, yeah. So we stopped to turn left to where the trailer park was, and they've got a roadblock up, and there's like fucking 50 cop cars. And we're like, what is happening?
Mom's in the car.
And
What
so,
could
yeah,
possibly be
what's
happening?
at the trailer park right now? So Doug gets out, he talks to him, and apparently there was a man that had some sort of confrontation with his wife and was going to kill himself, and had gotten his way over the creek and out into the field and had a shotgun and was threatening to
Oh, what a
blow himself
selfish
apart.
asshole on Christmas.
On Christmas Eve.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, still, that's
Yeah.
chicken shit, dude.
So we weren't allowed to go into the trailer park. But
But you
finally,
can
my
stand
mom,
outside in the cold.
my mom screamed and yelled enough that they let us go, but we couldn't go to our trailer because they were using our trailer as a sniper bin. So they got into our trailer, and there was a sniper set up on my mom and Doug's bed with the gun out the window at this dude out in the field. No shit.
So what are they protecting dude that wants to kill himself for then? Like if they're like are they just waiting for him to point the
I
barrel
think-
at them type of thing? Like why not? If you
I-
got a sniper, shoot the gun.
Right.
Shoot the gun all badass then.
It must have either been like I'm gonna kill myself or come back and kill my family type of situation or something. I don't know.
Seems
I don't know.
complicated.
But anyways, we had to go to the neighbor's house, but I specifically remember like Doug being really pissed because they actually like broke into our house to use it because it was right in line of where he was, and they had a perfect line of sight.
I'd have been like, I don't care, you're snipers.
Yeah.
You should be able to do this for like you should be able
Yeah.
to do the
But that was the weirdest fucking Christmas ever because we had to sit in a cold ass car for like 3.5 hours.
yeah, that's fucking bananas.
Yeah,
Dude.
it was weird.
And they're like, go for it, yeah.
I'll say my Christmas funky one there was, so when my parents were married, my dad was already 9 years older than my mom. So there's that little gap there. Not a crazy difference, but whatever. Then when they split, my mom started dating a guy who was 9 years older than my dad.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
she's like, I'll just
Remember
keep moving.
Daryl?
I'm gonna keep going. I do.
The old guy? Okay, so dated this old guy, and when they moved to the place that's it was in the alleyway just up from Hayes.
Oh, okay,
on
yeah,
there,
yeah,
that
yeah.
place that was in the back, the back entrance there. Christmas Eve, he died.
Oh God,
Oh,
no.
I remember this.
Trump story.
Yeah, that was
God
probably
damn.
like.
Ooh.
And the only funny thing I have about that guy, like I wasn't a big fan of him. He was whatever. He was my mom's boyfriend at the time. Whatever. But
It seems like that was about to get heavy. You could
well,
tell us what he did,
like
Jim.
no.
Point.
Is that when it happened?
I want you to
Point
point
on
on
Wolverine.
Wolverine where he touched you. Was it here, Jim? Was it there like that, Jim?
Would you
Did
quit
he
molesting my
do it
brand new Wolverine?
like this?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Good job on the custom fucking.
You like those?
That is good job.
That works pretty
That's
good.
No, so I don't remember where the fuck I was going now with that.
He died.
He died.
Well, he died, but it was so
He did.
when they first got together, apparently my dad, I don't know how he found this out, but through the grapevine somewhere, this dude had ED, and instead of just taking the pills, he had a pump for it.
Like a pump plugged into the dick,
I don't
or
know
it was
the
on
pump.
like the Swedish pump.
I don't know what I didn't. I was like 13, 14, so I just knew
Oh,
pump
I'd have
for
been
dick.
super fucking
Well, there's
curious
that,
about
but
that.
here's the funny part is he goes, apparently anytime he has to pump it up, it sounds like one of those duck calls. So we got a duck call, and we always we never did it, but I remember telling you this because we were hanging out a bunch of the time.
Yeah.
I always wanted to go behind their bedroom like late at night with the duck call, and just like start and just have my mom like yell at him, "What are you doing? I'm not in the mood." Something like that.
Right.
But it
Oh,
never went
yeah.
down like that. I was never ballsy enough.
I remember going over there, but I never wanted to go inside because, I mean, rest in peace. He weirded me out.
Yeah, he was just kind of a weird
He
old guy.
weirded me out, and I did never want to go in, so I always stayed outside. I did never want to go in.
He looked like a taller, more haggard Stan Lee.
Oh, okay. That's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he had the white mustache with the comb over here and everything like that.
Oh
but then
wow.
he
Guys
was like
with
taller.
mustaches scare me, and I've thought about it, because I got a pretty good mustache, not so great beard. So I thought, what if I just wicked the mustache out, like really let it fucking go?
Are you gonna like do the whole like?
No, I want like the Ned Flanders. I just want the big, perfect little orange slice.
You can
Lots
pull
of
that
fucking,
off.
Yeah, I had it for like I had the mustache for a minute there, like maybe a week, before I finally gave up on it or whatever. This was last year.
I don't remember that.
My beard's coming in, but it's in that really ugly as fuck stage right now.
Well,
where
you're
it's
blonde.
like,
It's just hard to get it to
Yeah.
fill in. We could fucking pencil line
I
you
got a
out,
spot
dude.
right
We
here.
could-
Let's don't do that because we did that to a kid that we hung out with. Had him
Oh.
dye his beard and it didn't work out well for him.
No, fuck that kid. He's lame anyway.
No.
Well,
Did we ever tell you that story?
What, you when you died?
No.
Oh.
No.
I was trying to
So
rap on it.
I did do that.
Yeah.
But it was the same kid that used that dye. So when I did mine, I just had the goatee and I like tiger striped it. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I did that. He took the dark, because all he had was like real light peach fuzz, and he wanted to dye the fuzz on his
Dyed
face,
the skin, didn't
but he
you?
dyed the skin. And it literally looked like he just took chocolate sauce and like run down his head like that.
Jesus.
But it was, and the best part about it, I guess you could say, the worst part for him was they worked at Subway. So you have to be in front of everybody while you're making a sandwich and making
What the
eye
fuck is on
contact.
your face? Damn. No, but we can line that shit
Barbecues.
out, dude.
Yeah.
Zip, zip.
It'll get there. See, I got this bald spot right here.
Me too.
And so I
Mine's
gotta
on
have-
this side over here.
I gotta have this get longer to cover
Then you
the
do a
bald
comb
spot,
over?
and
That's
then
what I do
comb
too.
it down. So, yeah, it's getting there though.
Shit.
Just naturally hairy, sorry guys.
You've had the same beard since like 8th grade.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Here's
It's
my
so
thing,
crazy because even when it's that short, you can't see the skin. Like that's just so
dude. If you shave,
beardy.
it'd be fucking.
He
Oh, I know.
shaved it short a couple times, like shorter to where you could see his little. There's like a little.
That's
dimple
why I
thing
don't.
in
extra
there.
chin.
That's
Yeah.
why I gotta have something because, dude, I get that little extra chin thing. I don't have a chin actually. It
Yeah,
just,
neither do I.
it just goes. Through.
Remember that game in like high school, oranges or whatever, where you pass the orange with your chin and whatnot? I couldn't
Oh,
fucking do
yeah.
that.
The
God
neck-
damn it!
the neck-
I did that at a party one time
That's
and
because you're
it,
supposed to do it on the front, so it looks like you're making out, dude.
well, that's what it was supposed to be, but it didn't fucking lock, nothing locked, it just rolled. So I dropped to my knees and like got all like crab-like and caught it in my crotch, and then the chick had to get it out of my crotch.
Well, good.
Yeah, I mean, it
Just
worked
blow it
out.
up with that baby arm dick of yours. I mean, nobody ever told me that.
It's obvious. It's almost imposing sometimes when he's just standing there. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, you could kill somebody
Damn,
with
is
that
that a
thing.
mag light?
He's like, he's fucking stole my mag light. I know he ain't got no use for a flashlight.
Where'd that 24-inch python come between the legs like that?
Ooh.
Speaking of wrestling, I will say this. This was
speaking big dicks.
Yes.
Excellent. Golf clap on that. No, this past weekend was Survivor Series.
Dude, I'm gonna get choked up.
It's
Better
okay.
Fucking quit.
It's okay,
dude.
because I don't know if Sean knows this.
Oh, but
Undertaker
yeah.
retiring,
I heard about it.
and it wasn't like he didn't say a whole ton. Like he literally
He
walked
never
out.
does.
Well, no, but so they had fucking everybody from back in the day come out and like stand in the ring before they did their little video package for him. But they had.
Was he not there? He was there.
He was there, but what they did was they brought everybody out. Then they rolled the video package and they cleared the ring so he could come out by himself
Oh.
and do his
okay.
little farewell deal there. So they had Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Ric Flair, Rikishi was there,
Mick
Savio Vega,
Foley?
Mick
Had-
Foley, the Godwins were
Oh,
there.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Fucking like they had a handful of people there, but they all came
Jim
out.
Cornette.
They all came out and kind of did their little clap thing or whatever while they rolled the package, and then Taker comes out, and literally the only thing he says is, "For 30 plus years, I've done nothing but dig holes and bury souls, and now it's time for the Undertaker to rest in peace."
Oh.
And it literally took like 10 minutes to get that phrase out, because he would walk around the ring and like just super like you
Yeah.
could see he was choking up and shit like that. But then the last little thing they do is they have him drop to his knee and he throws the pose up, but then they put on the screen in the background Paul Bearer. 'Cause he passed away.
They threw a
Yeah.
fucking holograph up.
Was that a
didn't
hologram?
they? Yeah, dude.
It
It was like
looked
a
like
real
it.
hologram. No, that's what they
Yeah.
were saying all over like
Oh,
the
okay.
wrestling forum. It was like if you were
Yes.
there, or if you like, I don't know how it would have translated if you were watching like Thunderdome style, like from home. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
the same view everybody gets. Like The Thunderdome view is the same
Yeah.
view we get
Well,
watching
the
it.
angle in the ring, it almost, and they only did it from the one angle, so that's why I thought it was on the screen in the background.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, it was a fucking, like, you know how Michael Jackson's last tour, like,
Yeah.
after he died, and they had him fucking on, like, holograph style? That's exactly what they did with Bear.
What?
Like, it showed him holding the urn, like, they showed a side pose of it,
Yeah.
and he's, like, in the ring.
Yeah.
Like, it was sick, dude.
And the other crazy part was hearing, like, Vince McMahon has had his hand in, like, everything in that company forever.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that he said the phrase WWF then and WWE currently had fans tripping balls because
He don't fuck that up very often.
not
It
even
costs
that,
him
but
money,
it was the fact that I think that it was WWF was said.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the only time you see WWF is if you watch like the super old pay-per-views.
Well, yeah, they've
on
been, like,
there or
super
programming.
forced to hold that to a T, and so when he's like, fuck it, I'm a bajillionaire, fuck it, I'm gonna say WWF, because that's what we know. Like, I say WWE to people, and they sometimes not, they're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck are you talking about? The internet?
So there's that fact there, but then the fact that he was also getting choked up talking about, he goes,
Well, he's not a fucking robot. I mean,
No,
I know
but,
he's,
like-
he's the iron fist behind the curtain, but at the same time, it's been
Well, I
his
know,
baby
like,
for 50
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
well, I guarantee I get that. But like I said, there's not very often that you see Vince McMahon choke up for anything, for
No,
any
fuck,
other
he didn't
reason.
choke up on 9/11, dude.
No.
He came out fucking big dick swinging
But
on
he's
that one.
also looking pretty fucking haggard.
Yeah, he's probably
I
not
looking
bad.
noticed that.
He
in the
looks
video,
way
yeah.
plasticky.
Well,
And
there's
I was
just-
talking to Doof, and I go, I will give him till 2023 before he passes.
I don't think
I'll
it's a
call
pass.
that
I
big.
think it's just due to lights and everything,
Well,
dude. You
I'm saying he'll die. 2023 will be the year that Vince McMahon dies.
God
I'll
damn.
Simpson that right now.
Oh, that's
I'm just
terrifying.
putting, and I know that's horrible, because he's, like I said, he's like the godfather of wrestling at this point for us, whether we want to admit it or not. Like,
Oh no,
he's been the pioneer that
Well,
put
we can
everything.
be mad and put all of his
forefront.
acts under a microscope, but it's been working for 50 years. It's only the last
Yeah.
5 or 6 years that it hasn't as much. Because wrestling was good. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just
No.
it turned into this vanilla like regurgitated storyline thing, and I just like I'm
Which is-
so used to Attitude Era shit where it was
Yeah.
like really unhooked, like it was
Well,
really like
That's what I
Real.
miss about wrestling.
like the end of WCW and what was happening after WCW came into WWF at the time was what I think of wrestling. It was
Yeah.
really raw. It was really made you think. You know, I remember fucking Hogan kicking the shit out of Roddy Piper one time, like fucking his leg up, and they were like smashing his leg. You could see Roddy's like his scar from his hip surgery and shit. They played that shit out. I thought they were legitimately fucking crippling a dude.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Fuck, I miss that guy. I wish he was still around.
Piper?
Roddy Piper, God, he was good.
Well, there's a lot of.
And not even his wrestling, his promo shit was just
Yeah.
fuck. He could cut it.
When Taker comes out, he's the one that goes, "Would you look at the size of the ham hock there?" But yeah, man, like that there, and then even Survivor Series wasn't horrible this year. I watched a few of the matches.
Yeah, I missed. I didn't do basketball. I was a wrestler. Sorry.
They had a few decent matches. The tag match was really good between New Day and Street Profits.
Really?
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
What's Big E doing?
Big E's on Raw, but he's
So they like stole him and then he didn't get
Well,
like
they
the title
split.
shot and shit like you assumed was gonna happen.
I think what'll end up happening is they're gonna push him for like an IC title or something like that, or he'll go for that. I don't know if he'll ever get the big belt. I mean, he had the NXT championship. He was like the second or third person to ever
Yeah.
hold it there. But then once he got to WWE, it was like he had the IC title and that was it, other than the tag belts.
Well, and here's the thing that I never thought about, like, so like, and this is just like a comparison, so I don't really care, but like, I really thought, based on everything I saw in public, that Donald Trump was going to be president, right? Same thing. Other people look at us and go like, you guys are fucking crazy. That's not what's going to happen, and then we saw what happened. Same thing with like who we think a champ's going to be. You and me, based on where we're from and the kind of wrestlers we like and whatever, we just assume it's going to be this archetype of a wrestler and this somebody that carries a scene. Maybe we don't know that in like other way more important urban areas, Big E's huge. Like, so we don't know that
Well,
he's
that's
got
why-
the pop, because when I look at him, I'm like, you're not a singles
Well, that's-
carrying pop kind of guy, because you're not the biggest, you're not the tallest, you're not the fastest. You got a little bit of fucking mic, but you don't got a lot on the mic.
Well, I think that's what happened with Kofi.
Yeah,
Kofi-
probably. But he
Kofi-
was extremely athletic and an aerial, like, he was a flyer and doing things that were like, whoa, shit. But then again, you have to be like, okay, well, Shelton Benjamin was doing the same kind of shit. Or, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So, like, there's no, like, Shawn Michaels, it was awesome when you just kind of knew he was going to go from, like, the Rockers to a singles guy.
Yeah.
And his partner was going to go do other terrible things. Like, you knew that Kevin Nash could make a run on his own after, being an outsider or whatever.
I think Big E has the capability. It's just, and he's good on the mic. Don't get me wrong. Well, so the biggest thing with Big E is
It's always, like if I talk by myself, or it's like a pod with just you and me. It's not the same as when it's three. Like, because I can rip on you and get a result, or I can rip on him, get a result. Any combination of that.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's what the New Day brought. But now I think that because they, like you said, he might not have been the most predominant on the mic. They're putting him on his own to see if he can go.
Yeah,
And
I
be
think
that
he
big
maybe
thing.
kind of didn't, is what I'm getting at.
Well,
Like,
at the
from what I've
point-
seen so far.
Well, that's the thing. But it's not done yet. He's still.
Well, the other thing is weird is that they drug Keith Lee, a larger, stronger, way more of a presence, in my opinion. Large black dude, and I'm not picking it that way.
Oh,
I'm
no,
just
I know
saying,
that.
like, if we're using archetypes of wrestler, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, there's the Junkyard Dogs, there's the fucking Jake the Snake Roberts, there's the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's the Andre the Giants, there's the Hogans, like, those are all such archetypes individually, where if you have Keith Lee gunning for the big gold, and you got Big E gunning for the big gold, I Keith Lee every time, in my opinion, just because he's done some nutty fucking shit. Like,
Well, that's the thing too. We don't know what Big E can still be cooking some shit up though
he
too.
could. I just would want to see it soon because
Well,
his fuse is short at this point.
Yeah.
With the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I've never been overly entertained by anything but Xavier Woods and Kofi in that little. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my
Big E's
opinion, it
always
always seemed
had-
like Big E was in the back holding, like, not really doing stuff.
He's definitely more the muscle to the thing. But so I
Right.
mean, like, so watching him do his running the ropes 3 times and then the big splash is always phenomenal because when he gets vertical, he gets horizontal above the ropes and then comes down.
Yeah.
Or he'll do the spear between the ropes to knock the dude out, which is always dangerous. Or
Yeah.
he'll do that splash on the apron to a guy or miss.
Yeah.
And land on
fake
the
it.
apron and take the bump. And that to me is insane enough in itself. But like I said, there's always room for him to potentially still grow in that capacity. And I think it's possible, like you said, or we've been saying, he wasn't the most present in the group because the other two were definitely the mic talkers.
Yeah.
And again, there's like that Big E where he's like the hype man. But putting him out on his own and making him get to that point might push him to that next level. So you never know. I mean, it's the same way what they did with Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman was
and he was
foreshadowed.
a phenomenal wrestler too.
Well, and Big
I don't
E's
know.
not. It's not that he's not, but
He's
it's
not.
a different level. It's a different kind
of.
of wrestling.
Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It just seems like there's so many fucking wrestlers on the roster too that there is
Well, that's
no
the problem.
You know what I mean? There used to be 12 guys and all 12 made it to the video game. You
I'm
know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
lost on wrestlers right now, man. Like,
me too.
There's
It
like
makes you
a
feel
there's like
better.
a
I
key
mean,
like 10 or 12 that I know that either I've heard from you guys that I've done research on or that I've just watched a YouTube clip on or something that I kind of know when you guys get talking I'll be like, oh, okay, that's who that is. But I'm so fucking lost on.
well, and
there's
here's
so
what's crazy about
many.
hobbies. Like, say we're all into wrestling, we're all into action figures, we're all into hot rods, whatever. Because of the accessibility to literally every generation of wrestling that's ever been recorded on video, you could spend the rest of your life just watching 80s wrestling and never watch the same match again. You could watch as many of those matches as is currently available in the new era.
Well, and that's what I always
you
go
can do
back
that. Yeah,
to.
dude,
Like, you guys are into a lot of the newer stuff, but I go backwards. I go back to
Well,
that.
see, that's where you're kind of wrong because even now I'm watching 2007 SmackDown at home.
True.
Like, and I've gone back and watched like early '90s Raw. Like I have the first 2 seasons of Raw on DVD at home.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, we
I
used
have
to.
them at my
Well,
home. Did you steal them out of my house, you fucking thief?
you never had them. Not those.
Oh,
You guys
A
probably
long time
both
ago, you
have
might
them.
have.
Yeah.
You might have borrowed them a long time ago, but I got them back. You have all my other like, my in your house. You have my.
Well, and that's the
Hell in
new
a Cell
shit
stuff.
that like, when it says it comes to new shit, like I'll speak for me, maybe not you, but like I'd much rather watch an AEW event or a D5 event or a Pro Wrestling Gorillas or fucking like just about anything, New Japan. You know what I mean? Like I would go that route to watch new wrestling because they are the athleticism has caught up.
Yeah,
Whereas in
yeah.
it's so tradition to wrestle a certain way, it seems like in WWE you don't see
Well,
flyers in.
so the thing that I like about, that I don't like about WWE is they treat it like an action movie. So when you're watching an action movie, like I've caught it in Blade 100 times, he'll do the same move 3 different times, and you're watching it 3 different times, but it's the same move, just caught on 3 different cameras. So they're
Right.
catching the angle of
Yeah.
I'm swinging, then you're gonna see the contact from this angle,
Yes.
and then you're gonna see the guy's
Yeah.
face pop over
Camera
here.
come in and out real
Yeah.
quick type of
They
thing.
do that a lot on WWE.
Yeah.
Whereas if you watch AEW or New Japan, it's always a 1 camera view until they have to change for the bodies to change to the other side of the ring or something like that, where you got to get the best angle. But other than that, yeah, it is.
That's a great way to put it because they're looking for the best angle in WWE, whereas in almost every other promotion that I've watched, they're looking for the best move, and then we'll just document it. Like you're not gonna see a lot of Instagram clips of WWE where it's like, look at this thing that happened. It's always indie wrestling where you're like, did that fucking guy just do that? Like, and it got caught. And you know, as a wrestling fan, you know what it took to do that thing. You don't need to get that picture perfect angle,
Well, that's
3-shot pound that they fucking do
So when
on
we
WWE.
when we went to Defy, sitting in the corner there, we saw everything from that angle. From like me to Sean, we were that close to the ring.
It was awesome.
When we went to the WWE event, you could see where the chops weren't quite connecting, or the
Yeah.
punches weren't quite connecting. And I think part of that too is the lighting, but at the same time it was also the angle we were at. We were almost dead set straight on with the ring, so it was almost like a TV event. But we
Right.
weren't getting the 8 different angles that they
To
shoot.
cover up the fact that they're not. Well, and you gotta remember, or it seems like to me, in the indies or in the smaller shows, I think they're a little rougher. They don't
are.
mind getting beat up a little bit more because that might be you.
That's your ticket to get to the big show.
Yeah, that might be
Just
your
to
last
show.
chance to wrestle ever.
Yeah.
Like there's guys that we saw on that show that probably haven't wrestled since.
Well,
You know, some have, some haven't. Obviously, probably maybe a majority of them, and not just because of COVID. But
Yeah.
what I mean is you could put fucking 8 months into going to wrestling school, get a few matches, and the promoter might just be like, dude, you don't got it.
Yeah.
Like you aren't gonna. There is no peak to your abilities that's gonna put you in the big leagues. Maybe you could be a fucking circuit wrestler forever if you wanted to or whatever. And then those people just give up because they're like, well, I want to go big. You know what I mean? They're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't seem to see.
I don't seem to see.
Like with the newer stuff, it doesn't seem this way. Maybe it's because I haven't watched enough of it. But those, like you were saying, those signature moves, like when you look back at like early 2000s, 90s, like the people's elbow, like
Right.
shit like that. You
When
don't,
it came up, you knew almost for sure the match was over. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
the build
yeah.
up to it, and
Or,
then boom, finally a 3 count.
like
type
you were
of
saying,
thing.
like the Undertaker earlier, like that kind of shit. Like they're those signature moves where you knew, like, oh fuck, this is happening. This match is done. Like you said,
Right.
I don't. For some reason, that was just one of those build-up things back then. It was just like
You
yes,
knew it was
yes,
coming.
Yes. Or they would try it over and over again, and it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't work, and then it would.
Yes, dude.
Fucking over. I
Well,
miss that.
Well, see, that's what they try to do now, but the problem is a finisher isn't a finisher. It's a chance to prolong the match, or like that cliffhanger.
Yeah, dude. Well, they ran out of storyline. So what do you do to add to storyline? Well, if a finisher comes up, at one point in wrestling rules, like as a fan, the first time you saw somebody kick out of like a finisher, you went, no fucking way, he
Yeah,
kicked out
right.
of his finisher.
Yeah.
And then like what match was it where fucking Macho Man hit like 3 of the big elbows off the top, and the guy
was Warrior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, and he
And then
kicked
Warrior
out
from
and
6.
kicked out and kicked out, and then Warrior went on to win, didn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah. So like shit like that, we're like, there's no fucking way. Only the Warrior, like his resilience is the thing that made it so he could kick out of a finisher. Now
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
fucking like James Ellsworth kicking out of people's finishers and shit. Like,
I watched some of Taker's deadliest matches today, and the first one that they put on there was a body bag match between him and Warrior.
I have that DVD, man.
Well, I don't even know if that was. They probably where it's like the
Yeah,
second
the
one is
deadliest
him and
matches.
Kamala or whatever
Yeah.
casket. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So they just played that. It was like they just got that collection on the network now.
Oh, sick. Yeah,
so
yeah. I have 2 versions of that, and they're different. One's like Taker's deadliest matches, and then the other's like the Undertaker something, one of his catchphrases.
oh,
The body bag match was fucking hilarious,
Yeah, it was.
though. That's
Well, 'cause-
that was him and Warrior, right?
yeah,
yeah.
Because
Dude,
then
that
at the
shit's
end, like
hilarious.
he zips him up, and then like he walks off, and then Paul Bearer gets in the ring with the urn, and Taker just sits up in the body bag.
in the bag.
And he like unzips it real quick, and he like gets up, and he's like, "See the size of that goose egg on his head from where he whopped him with the the urn?"
Oh.
And he's like climbing out of the ring, just walking back, and anytime anybody'd reach her,
Not having fun.
yeah,
I was watching something the other day on. God damn, I wish I could remember what it was. It was a wrestler that was talking about how. Oh shit! And they did that match where he lit the coffin on fire. You remember
Oh
that?
yeah, and then he comes up on the screen behind it.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember that? Well, it was. God, who was it that was fighting Undertaker?
When they lit it on fire, it would have been Yokozuna, I think.
yeah. Well, there's a couple of them where they did
No,
that.
it wasn't Yokozuna. It was a younger guy.
Yokozuna was only like 38 when he died.
Well, I know, but it wasn't him though. It was a different guy. But he was talking about how when he was pouring the kerosene on, he didn't realize he was pouring it on his boots.
Oh, Randy Orton.
Yeah, Randy
so it was-
Orton,
it was
and he
that one.
almost fucking lit himself on fire on
That'd
right
have been
there. at
awesome,
the-
though.
Like he was
Yeah.
talking. I watched that too. They were talking
What
about
was that
how,
on, man? I don't know.
You probably got it off your Peacock, because they do have a
Yeah,
bunch
I
of
think that's what
WWE
it
stuff
was.
that they've put on
Yeah.
there, like the behind the scenes shows and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That was kind of crazy though.
But it was, yeah, he was talking about, it was like one of the, for that year-long feud that they had,
Mm-hmm.
it was the casket match, they put him in the casket, and they did like the Kane thing, where he pushed him to the back by the entrance, take the axe, and you chop the hole in it, and then you pour the kerosene, but it's just gas, essentially. But, and he was like, I just wasn't
Oh, he
paying any
poured
attention.
it for like 20 fucking minutes, dude. That was the longest
Like,
pour
it was
I've
like
ever
the full
seen.
gallon, like 3-gallon thing, and it
Yeah.
was just like all of it, and he's just like pouring it, and it's just splashing
Splashing all
everywhere.
You
over
could
his
tell
boots
Vince
and
was in his
shit.
earpiece. He's like, keep fucking pouring, keep fucking building this up,
Well, he
build it
goes-
up.
And he
He's
goes,
gotta die.
he was like, we told the fire marshal that flames weren't going to be that big. And he goes,
Yeah.
just did it, and he goes, we just took the matches, and he goes, I just threw it on there, and he goes, if
He-
I hadn't, he goes, you can see me step back, and he goes, if I hadn't stepped back, my whole boots and everything else would have been on fire.
Can you imagine the plastic ass boots melting to your fucking feet?
Well, they talked about when Taker got hit with the pyro before the Hell in a Cell. He goes, a couple weeks before that, he goes, I was talking to the pyro guy, and I go, we got to move those pyro blasts out a little bit because they're getting pretty warm. And he goes, it's probably just the gust in the building, there's a breeze in the building, or whatever. He's like, all right, man, but I'm telling you, they're too close. And he goes, come Hell in a Cell, or not Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber. He goes, I was on my way out. He goes, I was the last guy in. He goes, and so I step out, and he goes, one come up on my left, and I turned to get away from it, and he goes, as I turned, the right one came up, and he goes, just scorched my chest, and he goes, he talks about it on, Stone Cold did a second round with him for the
cool.
Broken Skulls.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it went from like the hour long the first one to a 2 hour long the second
nice.
one.
Hell yeah.
It's so good. So he's talking about, he goes, I had 2 major decisions I made that day before going into that match. He goes, I was going to wear one of like the newer age one where the sleeves are cut off. And he goes, but I changed it because I'm the champ. He goes, if I wore that jacket, you wouldn't see the belt as I'm coming out with it. He goes, so I wanted to wear the belt, and he goes, I wore one of the old duster style so you can see the belt inside. And he goes, and I got to thinking too, I'm gonna be in that chamber for 20 minutes before I get to come in. He goes, I knew I was gonna be the last one in the match. He goes, so I took an extra bottle of water and I doused myself with it in Gorilla just before I went out. He goes, because if I'm standing there for 20 minutes, my hair's gonna be dry. I'm not gonna be able to do shit. Like I'm just gonna look stupid standing there. So he's like, took that extra bottle of water, poured it on myself, and he goes, and they showed a picture. His long sleeve on the right had shrunk up to a half sleeve from how much heat was in it. And he goes, he had 2nd-degree burns on his chest, and there was a guy under the chamber passing bottles of water up to him so he could pour them on him to try to like keep it from going. And he goes, and then in the match, I'm in the walls of Jericho from Chris Jericho, and he's just grounding my chest into the mat.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, there's nothing I can do about it. I just have to take it until the match is over.
The shit that they go through, you know what I mean? Like, if
Yeah.
I was at work and got pyroed somehow, I'd be like, that's my day, guys. Sorry. I have,
See you later.
even if, like, I'm the most important part, I'd be like,
Right.
fuck you, dude. Like, it's over. But you're an action figure, you know? You literally are a fucking action figure.
Yeah.
You probably kind of got to step it up.
Well, and so when the pyro goes off on the right and he catches on fire, he's like, I didn't want to break character, but he goes, what else are you gonna do? You have to move out of the flame.
Right.
He goes, so I went running through the flame, noticed that my jacket and my hat were on fire, so I threw the jacket and the hat off, and then get up to the front, and he's like, you can see that he's almost pissed. But he gets in, because you know when Taker gets in that cage,
I bet
he's kind
that
of like,
pyro guy doesn't have a job.
oh no, he's like, I was waiting till the end of that match to get back there and kill him.
Yeah, imagine a 6'9" Taker when he's going through his second win, like when he got really yoked again. No thanks, dude. That motherfucker crunch your head.
Oh yeah. I think the best shape that he was in physically was just before he left as the American Badass. Like if you go back and watch that Buried Alive match between him and Vince,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
he
He's
was just
dude.
fucking, like you could see the cuts and definition in him all the way through.
There was a Hell in a Cell match that he was pretty fucking yoked too. I want to say it was Triple H or Shawn Michaels or somebody like
One
that.
of them, yeah.
And he was just fucking like, you don't realize how big he is until you, in your brain, you're like, oh yeah, he's 6'9". Like, and
Well-
his arm is like that big.
Well, so like, and
Or
then,
like Kane, same kind of thing. We're like, look at that fucking that. Like, if he took his arm off, I could just strap it to me and it'd be a leg.
well, and then watching
know?
the Broken Skulls with Stone Cold. Stone Cold's just sitting there in a t-shirt, but anytime he moves and like this, his arm is like 3 times the size of what it used to be.
Right.
Like you don't like it's not like Stone Cold was always built a little bit, but he had that like Chuck Liddell definition almost.
Sure. Yeah.
But it was like now he's sitting there and like he goes like this to kind of like point at the screen up here, and his fucking arm is as big as his head,
Yeah.
and you're
fuck
like,
yeah.
what the fuck are you doing now? Like, where was this back in the day?
Well, maybe it's just one of those guys that like, there's a limit to his. Like, I'd imagine working out and then going and wrestling 300 days a year as well is just fucking daunting. Like, I would be one of those guys that was trying to constantly like, God, I hope my physique just holds for a while so I don't have to, and I can just rely on the wrestling. Like, hopefully you're wrestling enough to keep the muscles not at least getting smaller. But some of those guys are so big that like it's immediate. Like a week later they can lose 10 pounds, and they're like, fuck. You know, like my nephew, he played for U of I, football, and he got all the way up to like 280 pounds of just fucking like yoked, huge everything. As soon as he got done, like as soon as he like hurt his back and had to get out or whatever, but he's like down to like 215 again. He's just a regular sized dude again. He's like, all I did was stop doing what they told me to do.
Yeah.
Like, cause they gave him a free food pass, like whatever you want out of the fucking thing, and he would just eat hamburgers and fucking hot dogs and milkshakes and like whatever the fuck he wanted and lift weights all day. You know, like we got hot Asians to do your fucking homework. Don't worry about it. You know, like not really. I'm not outing him. He fucking did all of his own shit, but I'm just assuming if you're a superstar
Right,
fucking football player,
That's how
you,
it goes.
anywhere, you're just like, do my homework, small person. You know, I'm gonna go football now. And he's like a doctor, so he's super smart, way smarter than I am. So like me making fun of him is whatever. But yeah, dude, those fucking, you just lose it. So here's a cool thing about Taker too. He's on a show when Kevin came over. He had just a couple of drinks, Like he does it, and he brought me like chili and like pigs in a blanket. They're all custom. He's like, dude, here's this. He's like, by the way, I want you to come over and watch a show with me. I was like, all right, yeah, what, you know? And he's like, it's Undertaker on. It's a wing challenge show.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Did you? Is it,
Yeah.
And he said it was fucking really good. Where
Oh,
like
yeah.
you try and eat the hottest wings, you know, and they step
Hot
it up
ones.
from like
Yeah.
one to the hottest ones or whatever. And I guess it was super fucking good.
Oh, yeah.
Taker.
You can actually look it up on YouTube, and there's like a 20-minute show, 25-minute show. I pretty much watched the whole thing while I was sitting in the bathroom taking a shit.
Good for
Not
you.
even gonna lie, yeah. Like just sitting
Yeah,
there, like
good for you, Jim.
scrolling through it, just watching it. Yeah, it was pretty fucking entertaining though. Cause he's like, I like hot. He goes, I like hot food. He goes, as long as it's got a flavor. He goes, I'm from Texas,
Yeah.
so I like barbecue, but as long as it's not just straight heat,
Right.
then we're good. And he starts getting through. And he gets to like the fourth or fifth one. He's like, that tastes like yak ass. And so like at the end of it, he's like, my goal is to make it through, not touch any of the milk. Because he got 2 full glasses of milk at the end of it, all the wings. And he's like, I haven't eaten anything all day. I'm hungry. He goes, so I'm ready for this. Let's do this. So he starts eating and going through everything, and he gets to the last one, eats it, still
Like
hasn't
the
touched
10?
it. Yeah,
Jesus.
still hasn't touched the milk. And he goes, he finds the yak ass one. He goes, I'm regifting this. This is going to somebody I don't like. This is, thank you. But yeah, and he's like talking about like, he goes, I understand you're a big bike enthusiast. Is there any, like, if there was a fire and you had to go in and save one bike that meant the most to you, which would it be? And he goes, probably either the first one that I ever bought or the custom he got from Jesse James when he was West Coast Choppers. And that one was actually a super clean bike looking too.
Yeah.
It's just all kind of, it looks like a rusty bike,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
just super clean copper rust
Oh,
color.
hell yeah.
It's so nice looking. But yeah, then he talks about like his old like gimmicks and stuff like that, and he talks about catching on fire and all that shit. And it's just a pretty interesting 20-minute, 30-minute thing.
I'll have to check it out.
I forgot he used to roll in on a motorcycle
Yeah.
for a while. I
Yeah, that was
remember
the
that.
American Badass
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
Well, then when he did his last match with AJ, he talks about bringing the Holy Trinity together, and he talks about that on the Stone Cold thing about, because when AJ shot the promo, he was like, starts calling him Mark Calloway.
Yeah.
And he like takes a shot at his wife, Michelle McCool, which was also a wrestler at the time, during the American Badass years. But then he goes on to say it, he's like, so when he starts bringing that out, he goes, not only did I bring the Undertaker, the Deadman, but you got a little bit of the American Badass, and you also got Mark Calloway coming in there
Yeah.
to fuck you up.
Redhead.
Yeah,
Old red.
Yeah.
old booger red.
Old booger red. Fucking A. What else has been going on?
I
think-
introduced you kids to Thankskilling.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, dude. That
Oh,
shit's so
Lord.
fucking funny. So if you want to waste, like, what was that, like 4 minutes in a
Yeah.
trailer or whatever?
There's an app that I have that I can download it on, and my goal was to download it and watch the whole thing before this episode,
Yeah.
but I didn't get a chance to. Probably save that for actually Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. Shit, yeah,
Do
it's
it
such
that
a...
way.
Yeah.
So,
Look up
yeah.
look it up.
Yeah, Thankskilling on
Thankskilling.
YouTube, and it starts strong, because there's right off the bat a really good mom joke, so
Oh yeah.
just
Yeah.
wait for that. But
Uh,
it's like a D movie. It's
Oh, yeah.
not even a B movie.
Well,
It's-
the crazy part about it is they actually made a sequel and a third.
That's the part
Right
that
after it.
blows my fucking
Yeah.
mind. Well, but like if you have $0 in the first budget, you could make as many of those as you wanted. Like as long as everybody wants to
look at
keep
like
doing it.
Sharknado
Oh yeah.
or
Oh,
I mean,
dude.
Critters.
Critters. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the knockoff fucking gizmos, man. Gremlins, fucking critters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was another one called Ghoulies, where it was like it looks like Slimer.
Explain
I remember
your
what
cough.
you're talking about.
Explain
I
yourself.
started to laugh.
Explain your cough.
I just thought of Ghoulies, and then I'm just like, God damn.
The one that I remember is it coming up. It was Ghoulies 2, I think, where it comes up the toilet and bites the guy in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then there was like, I remember my dad introduced me to Chud.
That sounds really familiar.
So it's not what you think it is, Sean. I see you cocking your head over there. It's
Well,
not
no, I
something
had
you see on PornTube or.
I had an Uncle Chud.
Uncle Chud.
I don't want to talk about Uncle Chud.
It's good.
Where did Uncle Chud touch you? Did he? Go ahead. Get close. Right there. Right in this region.
Right there.
Sorry. Anyhow, sorry.
stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers.
Oh God.
And so it's like,
Oh, so it's like Tremors.
no, it's like
like hillbilly people live
kind of,
underground.
but like in a city. So like the case for the movie was like a city street scene and then like a sewer lid that pops up, but it's got like the yellow glowing eyes.
Oh, wait a minute.
That sounds really
I
familiar.
think I've seen that like in a movie store.
Yeah, super
A
old.
movie store. I
I
don't know.
miss-
You kids probably don't know what that is.
There used to be a place that you'd go to that you could rent movies on VHS tapes,
Big black boxes.
DVDs.
And around here, we also used to have to rent the VCR if you didn't
Oh
have
fuck!
one.
I forgot
Came
about
in the
that.
big black case.
Yep.
Fuck, dude. And if you were
Did they ever do
getting-
games? Could you ever rent a console?
Yeah.
you could
I don't
rent a
remember
console.
that. I just remember the VCRs for sure.
They only started doing that when they had the bigger systems come out. So like 64 and PlayStation was the first ones you could do that with.
That seems fucking playing with gas. letting
You
some
had to
kid
get there
try to-
early, though. You had to get there early.
Oh yeah, because they
once
only had
opened,
5
they were
of them or
gone.
whatever.
Yeah, especially on the weekends. You had to like send
Yeah.
your parents in to get them.
Well, the cool thing about it was is you probably could be, like, if you're too broke to have your own, you're also probably too broke to rent the game.
Sometimes.
You borrow the game, rent the machine. But yeah, and then talking about wrestling also. Back in the day, I mean, the only way we saw wrestling, like the big ones, the pay-per-views, you had to go to the cable place and rent the fucking box.
The black box.
And fuck, dude, they paid like $125 for a pay-per-view.
Sometimes,
back
yeah,
then.
dude, boxing was fucking
Yeah.
spendy.
Next, the 29th is the Tyson Jones
I
fight.
wanna watch
Dude,
it.
I do, but at the same time, have you seen what they did to the rules? They're making it out to seem like it's just going to be a pity pat thing because there is no judges. There's a referee, but there's no scorecard. The rounds are short. I think they're 3-minute rounds. Like, I know that Tyson is just like even if they're just pity pat, he's eventually going to go for blood or whatever.
Mhm.
But like,
Well, what this might do is it might actually set up for an actual big draw fight down the road. So it could
what
just be
I'm
like
hoping happens is, and this is just me, I'm hoping that Tyson is everything that I've seen him in his training video,
Oh,
and
for
he
sure.
literally rips fucking Jones's head off and just sends it into the stratosphere, so that they're like, oh, maybe we should take this guy seriously, and then give him somebody top 10 maybe, just to see. And if he fucking rips that guy's head off, please hand him over to a champ. Like, I want a more than George Foreman age champ. Like,
Oh, for sure.
if Foreman can do it at 49, Tyson, the way that he looks, tell me he can't figure it out. I
Oh, no, I know he
think he
can.
would get inside on some of these dudes and rip body parts off.
Oh, yeah.
Still.
Well, what I'm getting at, I think they do just do a pity patty like you're saying it's gonna be. It's literally just to see, okay, this fight here, we're gonna make a buttload of fucking money off of anyway because it's Tyson coming back
Yeah.
from so long out. It's Jones coming back from so long out.
He's actually only 2.5 years out from
Well,
the fight.
Seems a whole hell of a
3
lot
rounder
longer.
fights and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, it's not like you're like
Yeah, no.
renting it on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he's fought.
So
That's the edge he has. Is
Yeah.
he is most recent in competition, where I think Tyson's last fight was 08.
something like that, yeah.
And he destroyed a guy.
Yeah.
But, like, that was kind of his
Thing.
$4,500 fight. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to call it that way, but that's the way boxing is. You can make $4,500 a fight for like 10 years, and if you happen to get a record developed, then boom, you might start getting the bigger fights. And then in the waning years of your career, you're back to the $4,500 fights if
Yeah.
you want to take it. You
Right.
know?
But again, like I said, he's that name draw right now. So
Well,
if they do the pity patty fight and he just decimates him, even with no judges, and it's like a knockout like we're anticipating.
well, yeah, knockout is the only way to technically. There's no way to win it. Like, that would just end the event because it's technically an exhibition.
Yeah.
By boxing rules, you know, it's sanctioned, but it will go on either one of their records.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird that those two are that close in weight now, too. You know, because Roy Jones Jr. is like a middleweight, I think.
Yeah.
Or a super middleweight, or whatever 180 something pounds is, I think. I don't know. I don't know enough about new boxing. I know they got like 37 weight classes or whatever. And
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
well, like, I'm the 136-pound champ of the fucking world. And then the guy next to you's like, I'm the 138 and a half champ of the world. It's
right.
like, well, why don't you two just fight? Because that's like,
That's against the rules.
that's Subway. You know what I mean? The difference between you two is
Yeah.
who ate Subway
Yeah.
and who didn't.
Yeah.
Like,
Subway and Quiznos.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like.
One's bread's toasted, so it's a little thicker.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like.
He hawked a little more loogies than the
Yeah.
other
Well,
guy
even
did that
Floyd
day.
Mayweather Jr. was like saying that he's like, we gotta fucking eliminate some of these classes. It's destroying boxing because it creates less validity to every title. UFC's got 6 or whatever. So you're the
That's
fucking
still
man
almost-
and it's almost getting to where that's too much.
Yeah.
Guys are trying to add a weight. I would like to see a weight after heavyweight for UFC because then you'd get some big fucking monsters in there. Just you know what I mean, like the Bob Sappy type monsters, and they're not going to be as credible as the original heavyweight belt is because that's 205 to 265. But they were talking about a lighter one, like a 225. I don't want to see that because the whole draw of the heavyweight class was there was such a gap between. Once you're a big enough man, your punch is hard enough to knock out any man.
Yeah.
The human jaw is like, unless it's like an Andre the Giant monster jaw fucking Neanderthal or something, you're in the wheelhouse, which is why like guys like Tyson did so well.
Yeah.
Because they could just be so fast and so vicious that they're taking fucking dudes out that are big. But like a 265 plus would just be a spectacle. If you saw a 350-pound giant dude, like the dude I saw. So they were lining up the Survivor Series thing, right? And had like AJ in the ring and Sheamus and no, that's the only ones I remember. But that giant black dude that's AJ's bodyguard type dude, he's like 7 inches taller than Braun Strowman. I fucking was looking at it and like trying to gauge like, okay, if this is how tall this thing is, that's how much bigger he is than him. He's got to be 7'3", and he's not like. Ooh, like the great Khali, where he was just this stilt man, like about to die all the time. He looks like an athlete, like, and if he comes through,
he was the bouncer for Underground Raw when that was going on at the door, and then they brought him in as AJ's.
How come Vince isn't already like full Viagra boner over this guy being giant and black? I don't understand.
He came through the performance center, but I don't know if he like.
Maybe his skill set sucks.
Yeah, it might not be where it needs to be.
Well, he let the great Khali wrestle or whatever. He sucked.
Yeah, but he was always big over in India and Japan and all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah, he had some following over there.
That's
he actually
weird.
wrestled way back in the day too, before he got into everything that he did now.
Holy shit! So, what food are you guys most anticipating?
Oh shit, are we back to Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm fucking bringing it full circle. Before
We always do.
Before we
Yeah,
turn
we
this
do.
thing off, I'm like, I have a goal. I have a goal.
I look forward to. Okay, so this might seem completely crazy. I'm not a huge turkey fan.
No, I hear you.
honestly.
Yeah.
I the older I get, I for some reason turkey, like fresh turkey, butterballed turkey, tastes like a rancidy weird taste to me, and I don't like it. When I was younger, I didn't mind it so much. But I look forward to. Sarah makes like the casserole with like the what do they call those crunchy onion?
Oh yeah,
Like
like green
a
bean
green bean
casserole.
Yeah, green bean casserole. Yeah, but I don't know. The way she makes it is so good. She has a lot
That
of like
tang on the end of your
recipes.
tongue, where it's just like right when you're
Yeah.
swallowing green bean casserole, and it's just that very specific. I get you,
Yeah.
dude.
She gets a lot of recipes and stuff too from like her mom and like her dad. So and it was a lot of like I don't know. They're different recipes than what I grew up with,
Yeah.
and I like them a lot more. There's a lot more taste. I don't know if that's like a Midwestern thing or
No,
what.
yeah, probably like over
But-
seasoning more than we do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot
In a
more
good
taste.
way. In a good
way. Yeah.
Like they know how to balance it out with what they're cooking and stuff.
Yeah, so she makes a mean green bean casserole. Fucking deviled eggs for sure.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm a fiend on the deviled eggs. Sarah will make a
I have to
fucking,
be like kept from it
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah. Just in the last few years, sweet potatoes have gotten where I fucking
Candied yams.
love them.
Candied yams for the family.
Or candied yams. Yeah. Either
No,
way.
either way.
Brown
But I
sugar
gotta
cinnamon
have-
with the marshmallows on
Yeah,
top.
you gotta have the brown sugar and the marshmallows. But
How about you, Jimmy?
So there's basically like Sean was saying, those three there. I'm not a big cranberry guy. Like I don't do
It
cranberry
always
sauce.
comes
or
out of a
anything like that.
can, so I
Well,
could
and
care less.
there's some people that do the fresh stuff. Beth has always been one about the can. It's got to be the can shape, And then
and you just
the
leave
mashed
it in the
potatoes.
can shape.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that,
yeah.
dude. When I see that, somebody does the fancy thing where they lay it down sideways and leave a butter knife. It's like,
Or they'll cut
you
it
really
like-
fucking tried.
cut it like this so
dude,
it like
it's like a summer
butterflies out.
sausage.
Yeah.
Like, yep, that's good.
I've taken it. Okay, so last year I took some and I put it on a roll. Sarah makes homemade rolls, so she's all gluten free and everything.
Almost like it's a jelly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get what you're throwing
so
down.
she
dude.
makes these really fucking good rolls, and then I'll use it like a jelly, and then I'll put turkey on it, and then the turkey doesn't. I don't know. I can eat it like that, so I'll make like a little sandwich. That's what I always find. I'll go through and I'll have my big plate of everything, and I'll eat that, and then I go back and I'll get a couple rolls and I'll make like little sandwiches. That's what I do.
Mashed potato in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, those
Sarah
are the-
makes like the homemade au gratin potatoes. We don't have like mashed.
No, yeah, I get
Yeah,
you.
we have the au gratin potatoes, and she makes the little angry pirate things.
Oh, yeah.
So, but I
I'll
might
come over and
mention
steal some of
the
those.
sweet pickles maybe. Try
Yeah,
some of
or
those
like half
this
and
year.
half, so that you can be fair,
Yeah.
especially with something you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I look forward to the day. I look forward to the food or whatever. What I really look forward to is making turkey sandwiches for like 2
The
weeks
next day?
after. Yeah, dude. Like,
Do
and
you
that's what
just
goes
like
to work.
like bread, turkey? So this is how I do it. Real simple. Bread, turkey, mustard.
I don't put mustard on
I put
sandwiches,
mustard.
dude.
No.
I never really have.
No,
I got into
yeah.
honey mustard for a while, but like, no, I'm just a mayonnaise on both sheets.
Oh yeah, mayonnaise
Turkey
too.
cheese.
Mayonnaise
that's
too.
it,
Yeah,
you know, and just go to town on that.
Well,
for
then a lot of
week
people
solid.
will sell out of the noodles, like just the regular noodles at the store too, for people making turkey soup.
Oh yeah, Lee used to do that. So when I was living with Patty and Lee, Thanksgiving was always really good because Lee was a hell of a cook, and so those years, excuse me, those years.
I you guys might not notice how uncomfortable I am right now, and I was really trying to round the show out there at the end of
you
that
having the
there.
guts like I had last week?
No, I just had to pee for like 45 minutes, and I'm
Cool.
trying to be a professional about it, but right now it is literally, we're at critical mass of whether or not I'm going to just piss my pants. So what we're going to do is have you guys tell us all your stuff. Get on Fancy Tickles, get in the group. If you haven't been added to the group, we'll get you added to the group.
Also, just before we cut out here, I want to thank everybody. I'm thankful for everybody out there
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good way to...
adding the page, following the page, joining the group.
yeah, our YouTube is starting to get some traffic.
We have way more traffic on the YouTube than we do the Spotify.
Don't care.
I
At
know
this
you don't,
point,
but
I
that's
don't
still
care.
cutting your goal down from the beginning of this.
It is what it is, dude. If we get
Cool.
to 1,000 on YouTube, I'm gonna fucking eat you Snoop Dogg high, dude.
But yeah, thank you guys for everything you've
What
done
are you
for us,
thankful
following
for?
us
Let's,
out there.
I can hang for a second. I mean, or I'll just let it go. It's your chair. I don't care.
It'll be your chair
carpet.
from here on out.
Yeah.
I'll do the cup game.
I'm thankful right now for just everything that's kind of plopped into my lap, such as the podcast. I'm thankful for you guys, of course. Yeah.
Chit
This
chat.
has been really nice. This has been good for me.
Little
mentally.
introvert trying to get you out, trying
Yeah.
to blossom like a flower in the sun.
Yeah.
And you've done it.
And then
What they might not know is it's pretty easy to do a podcast.
yeah,
It's fun.
it
Like
is.
once you get rolling.
It is. Family, friends,
Shit chat.
all the viewers.
These guys, that's what I'm thankful
Yeah.
for, is right now in my life, there's like literally zero drama. And I fucking hate that I just said that, because like the next podcast I'm like, guess what happened this week, guys? I got fucking
Samantha's gonna show back up.
Samantha, yeah, dude, and like
I woke up,
steal
she
my
was
turf.
breathing over me.
Yeah, and I had 3 locks on the door.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to, I wonder what her Thanksgiving is going to be like. I bet it involves pushing a shopping cart from one house to another. But anyway, I'm
Yeah.
thankful for how good everything's going. The pod's going good. My life's going good. Work, so who
I can
cares?
say that.
But yeah, you know.
Despite all the crazy fucking bullshit going on in the world right now.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I've had to wear a mask this week, and I've stopped noticing, like, the first day.
Yeah, it didn't bug
That's
me.
it, so-
We're wearing a mandatory.
Outside of that, we love you. We hope you have a good Thanksgiving. Yeah, report back to us, man. Tell us what you think, and pretty much from here on out, Christmas podcasts,
Oh,
like
my.
all the way till Christmas. Hooray!
I'll be wearing nothing but green as a Grinch, so.
That's okay. What we got next?
There's gonna be a big Christmas
We're
tree
gonna get
here.
that ticker all going, dude. But anyway, we love you, and have a good week.
See you guys next week. Bye.